Well, hello everybody. We've just finished another video. We've just been to send to Wales, and I thought I'd take this opportunity to make this new video. Yeah, I'm cheating a little bit. We're making two videos at once, but that's okay because this is a totally different subject. I've had a request to do a radio calls feature of the area in Fraser Coast, Hervey Bay, Maryborough Airport. What's called the CTAF, Compulsory Traffic Advisory Frequency, and it's a big loop actually because there's two airports and they're both on the same frequency and they're actually 15 nautical miles apart, and that's why they're in the same loop on the same CTAF. So we've just overflowing Hervey Bay Aerodrome, and Hervey Bay Aerodrome, because we overflew it, we did a radio call, as you'll hear. I'll play them back for you now. So the first radio call, we were departing Fraser Island about 8 miles to the northeast. Here's the radio call. Hervey Bay traffic, microload 6340 is 8 miles to the northeast over Moon Point, 800 feet, climbing for 2000, tracking inbound Hervey Bay. Okay, so that was advising Hervey Bay we're inbound, as you heard in the radio, to overfly the airfield. Then when we got closer, there was an aeroplane turning base. I advised him that I was approaching Hervey Bay, and just to let him know I was there really. And he was landing, turning base, turning downwind at the time.
Hervey Bay, full take airline 362, joining downwind for runway 11, full stop Hervey Bay.
Hervey Bay traffic, microload 6340 is currently 5 miles to the northeast at 2,500 inbound to overfly Hervey Bay for Maryborough, Hervey Bay traffic. And we caught up with him a bit later, turning base down at the sunny coast. Got a plane landing at Hervey Bay, Technam, so he's well out of my way. Didn't have to make another radio call. We just made a radio call to say we were overhead the field. This radio call. Hervey Bay traffic, microload 6340 is overhead the field, 2,700. Tracking south for Maryborough, Hervey Bay traffic. After and advising them that we're onward flying to Maryborough, as you heard. So now we're just done a radio call, or I'll do that now, radio call. Maryborough traffic, microload 6340 is 10 miles to the northeast at 2,200, inbound for full stop, Maryborough traffic. So now Maryborough knows that I'm any traffic in the area. I'm still in the CTAF Hervey Bay, so they would have got the call as well. Now both of these airports, as I should explain, do not have control towers. This is a CTAF. We have frequencies allocated to these aerodromes. The frequency here in Hervey Bay and Maryborough is 126,550. So Maryborough, as you know now, knows I'm on the way in. The next radio call I will do will be 3 miles, because that's what you do. My radio call actually at 10 miles should have also included that I was going to be ETA in the circuit at 3.5 as it would turn out. Got a slight headwind at the moment. 3 knots, not much really, won't make any difference. Just a minute, I'll turn this camera, it's a little bit loose. Okay, so back on the program. So we're coming up to 3 miles, which is actually over the river to the northeast of the field. So that's a landmark reference point coming in from this direction. My plan at this stage, looks like we've got a southerly wind, will be to land on the 17 runway towards the south. Now the safest thing to do here is, because the traffic's coming towards me on the downwind, to land on 17. If I was to join from this direction, I would be flying contradictory in conflict, so we won't do that. I'm going to head slightly to the east of the field, and then I'm going to track overhead the field at 2000 towards the west, which means I'm overflying the aerodrome. I'll do radio calls to indicate that, and then we'll turn upwind. That's not going to work, is it, Kevin? Let's scrap that. Always think ahead before you do your flight arrival. So what we're going to do is still arrive on the eastern side of the field, well clear of the downwind leg. So we're going to track south from here, not towards Maryborough Aerodrome. Once we are perpendicular, or just south of perpendicular to the airfield, we'll turn and join downwind, which means we'll be joining in diagonally on the downwind for runway 17. So at the moment we've got a heading of due south. I can see the aerodrome. We're coming up to 3 miles. We'll advise our intentions. Then we'll advise we're joining downwind. And then we'll advise we're turning base. And we don't actually have to do an advisory call for turning final, unless we're 5 miles. If we're doing a 5-mile final straight in, then that would be our call. But in this case we're not. So for the purpose of the exercise, and because we don't have to, we won't do a finals call here. And I think that's actually applicable to all of Australia. That camera's turned again. I'm going to have to tighten it up. Yeah, so we'll just see how we go here. Let's do the radio call for 3 miles now. As I said, we've got the airfield well and truly in sight. We're at 2,000 feet. Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340 is 3 miles to the northeast at 2000. We're tracking south to join on a downwind for runway 17, full stop Maryborough. Right, so what we do with the radio calls is we've got to advise in Australia and anywhere in the world, I believe. 1 second, and I really have to tighten this up. We need to advise who we are, where we are, who we are, altitude, which is where we are, altitudes and location in relation to the landmark that we might talk about, such as an aerodrome, and what our intentions are, and then we finish off again with where we are or where we're going, which is the aerodrome in this case. So there, in this case also, I've added some little bit more information just to advise my intentions of how I intend to join and approach the landing for this completion of my flight. Now you're fortunate this morning as well, we've got 3 cameras rolling on this. One of the cameras is a 360, so I can take shots from any direction. We can look down on the track and we can look forward and left and right. Could look up as well if we wanted to, but there's only smog and smoke at the moment to see, so there's probably no point doing that. Right, so we're still tracking south. The airspeed is 70 knots, ground speed is 62. We've got an 8-knot headwind. And yeah, we'll just maintain this. We're not quite yet perpendicular with the field. Now, a good time now is to turn the landing light on. The landing light, getting a bit cold actually. We're nearly perpendicular to the field to my right. We're watching for traffic. I have got the landing light turned on. We have got cruise control turned on, the throttle's on cruise control, so we've got a setting. When I start my approach towards the airfield, I'll turn that off and use my foot pedal. In a microlight, the left pedal is the brake. Now that doesn't work in the air. It's like a car, an automatic car. We don't have gears to change either, so we'll call it automatic. And more like an electric car, because that doesn't have gears either, and we don't change. We're just not an automatic, it just wants it. Anyway, rubbish. Where were we? So we've got the left pedal.
Back to the story.
Back to the story. Brake on the left. I got it right. Brake on the left. Look.
Yep.
Look there. And back to the story. Right hand is throttle. Foot throttle. Now on this aircraft, my left hand controls the cruise control throttle, which I can set and forget my speed and everything when I'm going on cross countries and things like that. I don't have to worry about my foot getting tired. I can move my feet around and I can do all that sort of thing. So So we're now nearly perpendicular with the field. We're still tracking, I'm staying quite wide intentionally in case there's traffic, and I'm watching for traffic. I've got lights on, so I'm visible, maximum visibility. And I reckon we can almost start our run into the airport, and we don't need to do a radio call for that. We only need to do the radio call for joining the circuit, which will be downwind in this case for runway 17, and we'll do that shortly when we get there. So let's commence the slow turn to the right, which will be to the west. Watching for traffic. It's always the most dangerous place to fly in the circuit at an aerodrome. As most of us would know, especially at a fly-in where there's a lot of aircraft activity. Oh, here's my opportunity to plug another video. Yeah, there's another series coming out. Well, should be coming out now actually, bit by bit. There's multiple videos. Recently we had a Wings, Wheels and Warbirds event at our airport, which is now an annual event. And those videos tell a story, and they're in a playlist, so they're all in a collection. Now, why am I telling you that? Because I flew the Trike when there was a lot of flying in traffic. There was Warbirds operating, doing joy flights. So vigilance was the key. There's one video there if you want to see how busy it was. It's about... it was the first test of the gauges, which I'll put up in this video. We're now using gauges to show my airspeed, altitude, vertical speed indication and stuff like that. So they'll be coming up on the screen very shortly. Alright, so we're just approaching the turn for downwind. I've got a lot of crabbing going on here, a lot of side wind action. As I join downwind, I'll be looking at the windsock to check the wind direction I have is correct. I'm currently using indicators such as smoke at a factory, there's wind on the river, and I can see it's all kind of this southeasterly. I might change my plan too to do a grass landing, just depending on how strong the wind is. Alright, so we're now going to turn and join and do the radio call. Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340 is joining downwind, runway 17, full stop, Maryborough. Alright, so that's the radio call for that one, and we'll commence our turn. Got to get lined up for a parallel pass. Downwind is obviously the direction opposite to the direction you're landing. This sets us up then to do a base turn, which is our second to last turn before we turn final onto landing, the final approach for landing. Windsock is looking good at about 5 knots. I can't tell if it's gusting, but it looks pretty good from here, so we're pretty safe to commence our run into runway 17. So the next compulsory, it's not really compulsory, actually no calls are compulsory. All calls at these airfields, at uncontrolled airfields, are advisory, and obviously a very good idea. Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340 is turning base, runway 17, full stop, Maryborough. Now, as I said, I won't be doing a final call. I will now turn off the cruise control, I'll use foot pedal, and I'll commence my descent. And we will intentionally land a little bit longer today because I don't want to run out of, use up my tyres taxiing everywhere. So we'll just do our precautionary check for traffic. I haven't heard anyone on the radio. If someone's got a faulty radio, I need to know about it by visually spotting them in the air. And they won't know I'm here if they're not looking, if their radio's faulty either, or if they don't have a radio. That's fair enough, I suppose. Right, we're fairly high at the moment. Like I said, I was going to do a long landing. That's my excuse for the long landing, because I'm too high. Not really. I don't want to land short too early. We'll set it up. So we're a little bit to the left of the runway, but we've got this crosswindy thing going on. Actually, it's not too bad down here, so we'll get it all lined up and stabilised. Descent rate's a little bit high at the moment. We're at 800 feet. You can see that from the gauges if you're looking now. You should be able to see gauges if everything's working properly. The camera that records the gauges and the GPS is working. So there's a good chance we should have, unless all the GPSs, the satellites, have turned themselves off today for some weird reason. Right, we've got some roly-poly here. There's a bit of thermal, bit of something going on. You clear to land, Kip?
I'm ready.
Right, so we've got some turbulence, vigilance, and keep it all together. Yeah, it's a bit rolly. So we've got a westerly. It's swinging around a little bit. So we'll put some power on. Just a little bit, just to give us some out options. And there we go. So we can now safely set it down on the runway. Power off. And hold it off. And let it turn straight. Oh,
we're down.
Okay, that was one of the gentlest again. If you want to see another video that I did recently, that's not the Jabber, is it? Another video that I did recently. Sorry, camera. Yeah, I did my BFR, and the instructor commented how smooth that was. That's another video you can go back and watch as well. There's lots of videos to see. Okay, so this is Maryborough Aerodrome, nice gentle arrival. Now we do one more radio call, very important one, just for all of those that want to use the runway whether landing or taking off. Camera's shaking, sorry it's loose. Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340 is clear of all runways, Maryborough. And that concludes the video, hope you like it. Thanks for coming, see you soon. Bye for now. Maryborough traffic, Trike 6340, enters, lines up, rolls, runway 12, Maryborough traffic.